Heartbreaking CCTV found in Yu Menglong's home, revealing his final message to fans and his mother. It was the moment that silenced an entire nation. A moment no one was prepared to see. Because when investigators entered Yu Menglong's home after that fateful night, they expected answers, but what they found instead was something far more devastating. A single camera. Still recording. And a final message that no one will ever forget. Hold on tight, K-drama family. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. The discovery began quietly, almost secretly. Authorities had been combing through Yu Menglong's residence, searching for anything that could explain the events surrounding his mysterious disappearance. The apartment was untouched, neat, minimal, painfully ordinary. The blinds were drawn, the lights dim, the faint scent of his favorite cologne still hanging in the air. But in the corner of the living room, a small black security camera blinked red. It was still on. When investigators retrieved the footage and pressed play, silence filled the room. And then, there he was. Yu Menglong. Sitting alone on the couch, dressed in a white shirt, his face pale under the dim light. He wasn't performing. He wasn't acting. This was a man stripped of all defenses, raw, vulnerable, heartbreakingly real. The final night, the timestamp read 11:48 p.m. Just hours before the world would learn of the tragic night. In the video, Yu sits quietly for nearly a full minute. No words. Just stillness. Then he takes a deep breath and looks straight into the camera. His voice trembles slightly as he begins to speak. If you're seeing this, it means I couldn't fix what went wrong. He pauses, his eyes red, as though he's been crying. People think fame makes you powerful. But sometimes it takes everything from you, your peace, your truth, your voice. He lets out a quiet, shaky laugh, but there's no joy in it. I used to believe if I stayed kind, if I worked hard, if I didn't hurt anyone, I'd be safe. But I was wrong. The world doesn't protect you just because you mean well. The message to his mother then, something shifts in his expression. His eyes soften, and his voice grows even quieter. He reaches for something beside him, a framed photo of his mother, holding him as a child. He touches the glass gently, his hand trembling. Mom. I'm sorry. You told me to stay away from all this noise. You said I wasn't built for this kind of world. You were right. He wipes his eyes and continues, voice breaking. Please don't cry for me. I'm still your son. I'll still be with you, every time the sun rises, every time you hear one of my songs. Don't remember me for the way I left, remember me for how I smiled. He places the photo down slowly, almost reverently. Then, he looks back at the camera, as if he's speaking directly to the people who loved him most. His message to fans, to my fans. I don't know how to thank you enough. You made me believe I mattered. You made me feel seen. Even when the world grew cruel, you reminded me that kindness still exists. He takes another long breath, his voice now fragile, whisper soft. But please, don't fight for me. Don't blame anyone. I don't want anger to be my legacy. I want you to keep smiling. Keep dreaming. Keep believing that love is real, because it is. He presses his hand to his chest. It's just, sometimes, love isn't enough to fight the darkness. For a long moment, he says nothing. The room is silent except for the faint hum of city traffic outside. Then, almost as an afterthought, he whispers the words that would break millions of hearts across the world. If the light goes out, it's okay. I was never afraid of the dark. The moment of silence, the recording ends 2 minutes later. You remain seated, looking out the window. He doesn't move. He doesn't cry. He just sits there, calm, peaceful, like someone who has finally stopped fighting. And then the video fades to black. When authorities released the footage privately to his management team, several people reportedly broke down in tears. His mother fainted when she saw it. Even seasoned investigators were said to have left the room, unable to continue watching. It wasn't just a message. It was a farewell, spoken not in bitterness, but in quiet surrender. The hidden detail, but what stunned everyone wasn't just his words. It was what they found after. As technicians enhanced the footage, they noticed something unusual in the reflection of the window behind you. A faint figure. Someone standing outside. Watching. It wasn't clear, just a shadow, a vague outline of a person by the streetlight. But the timestamp matched the same hour that neighbors reported hearing raised voices outside the building. Was it one of the men from the previous footage? Or someone making sure you never spoke again? Investigators refused to confirm. But the implication is chilling. The internet in mourning when the story broke, social media went into collective heartbreak. Millions of fans shared clips, tributes, and quotes from Yu's final message. One phrase, in particular, went viral, the line that echoed across the world: "If the light goes out, it's okay. I was never afraid of the dark." That single sentence became a symbol of both grief and strength, printed on posters, painted on murals, whispered in candlelight vigils held in Seoul, Beijing, and even Los Angeles. Fans who had followed him since his earliest dramas spoke of his kindness, how he always greeted fans, how he donated quietly to orphanages, how he never used fame to look down on anyone. He wasn't just an actor to them. He was the light they turned to. And now, that light was gone. A mother's response days later, Yu's mother released a handwritten note through a family friend. Her words were simple, but they tore through the nation's heart: "He was my only child. My sunshine. He gave his love to the world, and the world took him too soon. I forgive everyone. But I will never stop waiting for him to come home." Her note ended with a single sentence: "Please take care of him in your hearts, as I took care of him in mine." Fans printed those words, placing them beside candles, photos, and flowers at makeshift memorials across the country. The legacy left behind since that night: Yu Menglong's old interviews and songs have resurfaced, every lyric, every smile, now tinged with new meaning. Clips of him laughing on set, comforting co-stars, joking with fans, each moment has become sacred, frozen in time. And yet, through the grief, one truth remains undeniable: Yu Menglong's story isn't just about loss. It's about love, love for his family, his fans, and a world that he gave everything to, even when it broke his heart. The last frame of the CCTV footage shows Yu looking into the camera one last time. His eyes are tired, but gentle. Behind him, the faint glow of city lights reflects off the window, like tiny stars. And then, the red light on the camera blinks out. That was it. The end of the recording. The end of the story, at least, for now. But for millions around the world, that moment isn't the end. It's a reminder, a call to see the people behind the fame, to remember that behind every smile may lie a silent struggle. Because sometimes, the most heartbreaking goodbyes aren't screamed. They're whispered through the lens of a camera, by someone who just wanted to be understood. The empty room looked exactly as he'd left it. The white shirt he wore in the footage still hung neatly over the chair. His phone charger was still plugged in. On the kitchen counter sat an unfinished cup of tea, cold now, untouched. She moved through the apartment slowly, touching each object like it was sacred. His piano. His scripts. The small cactus by the window he'd once told her he kept because it survives even when you forget to water it. And then, she saw it. A drawer, slightly open. Inside, she found something no one had noticed before. The hidden envelope. It was a plain brown envelope, sealed with tape, tucked under a stack of old lyric sheets. On the front, written in Yu's handwriting, were 3 words: "For when I'm gone." Her hands trembled as she opened it. Inside were several pages, handwritten letters, each one carefully folded and labeled. One was addressed to his fans. One to his manager. One to his best friend. And one, to her. She unfolded hers first. The handwriting was neat, steady, as if he'd written it on a calm day, long before the storm. The letter to his mother: "Mom, if you're reading this, I'm sorry I couldn't be stronger. You gave me everything, love, warmth, belief. But I lost myself trying to please everyone else. I wish I could tell you this in person, but I didn't want you to worry. You always knew when I wasn't okay. He continued, you used to tell me that home is the only place that doesn't ask who you are, it just loves you. I held on to that every night I came home from the set, exhausted, pretending I was fine. I wanted to make you proud. I wanted to be the kind of man who could give light to others, even when he had none left. And then came the part that made her collapse to her knees. When I was little, you said the stars were where people go when they can't stay. I used to laugh. Now I think maybe you were right. So if you ever miss me, look up, I'll be there, smiling, trying to make you proud from the sky. By the time she reached the last line, her tears had soaked the paper.